Thomas Sowell was wrong. I'm going to try not to have an aneurysm, but no promises. Mr. Sowell is a protege of Milton Friedman, and I know some of the people who watch this channel prefer the writings of Milton's son David Friedman or Rothbard, etc., over Sowell or Milton Friedman. But as my kids would say to me, Sowell and Milton Friedman are both the OG. Now, before I get into the details of what Sowell was wrong about, a quick deviation about David Friedman's take on his father's work, and by extension, Mr. Sowell's work, which in many ways is very different from his own. David does not have a single negative thing to say about his dad, nor, unless intensely provoked, about anyone who can legitimately call themselves a libertarian. That is, people who favor personal and economic freedom over all other factors. This obviously leaves out libertarian socialists and other oxymoronic philosophies, but includes the vast majority of people who call themselves libertarians. Like Eric July, and sad to say, far too few other free market lovers, David seems to think it's more important for us to focus on our similarities than our differences. What a concept, huh? Sorry for the tangent, but whenever I come across a libertarian who tolerates other libertarians, I feel compelled to take note. It's like seeing a unicorn or something. Anyway, back to Mr. Sowell. Check out this quote. Socialism is a wonderful idea. It is only as a reality that it has been disastrous. Now, Mr. Sowell's intellectual precision is legend, and I think I know what he was getting at, but let's face it, socialism is not a wonderful idea. Socialism is a terrible idea. Socialism is such a terrible idea that even the theoretical implication that it has merit is way off base. That is, if you're dealing with human beings. If you're dealing with an intelligent alien species light years away, it's hard to say. But here on planet Earth, the forced equality of socialism is literally antithetical to the long-term continuance of the species. Not prosperity, not success, the long-term continuance of human life on Earth. It is a uniquely human perspective, and I would say weakness, that it is somehow admirable to, without qualification, sacrifice our own best interests in favor of some nebulous collective. And while many humans seem to find this behavior admirable, they somehow, inexplicably, utterly fail to incorporate it into their own behavior. Why? Because although we fight it tooth and nail, we are programmed by our Creator not to be stupid. The advanced, or capitalist part of the brain, knows that by serving our own economic interests, we end up serving the general interest of our species. The primitive, or socialist, part of the brain continues to irrationally demand unconditional sacrifice, while at the same time refusing to make that sacrifice personally, opting instead for imposing sacrifice on others by force. Every time I hear myself say this out loud, I still find it to be so ridiculous. I can't believe I'm saying it, but there you go. You'll find this kind of forced equality and self-sacrifice behavior programmed into some Earth insects, but no mammals. And human beings are mammals. And mammals survive based on competition. The forced equality of socialism would anywhere outside a zoo doom any mammal it was imposed upon. The really annoying thing here is that human competition has evolved to focus mainly on commerce, which is a peaceful, voluntary, benevolent form of competition. Much more humane. If you add up all the wars and special military operations, they still comprise a horrifying but tiny proportion of human activity. Since socialism would turn our system of commerce into one at which, at the point of a gun, inane drones would be just as successful as brilliant entrepreneurs, it is the equivalent of throwing sand into the engine, resulting in inevitable catastrophe, breakdown, and I kid you not, the disappearance of our species from the planet. Thomas, none of this in any way diminishes my extreme admiration for you as an individual and for your work. Nobody is perfect. Now, the statement that socialism is a wonderful idea proves that, as close as you are, even you fall just a little bit short.